Hello, hello, hello. How is everybody doing? Happy Thursday, y'all. It's Thursday, and right now on Thursdays, we get into the beauty. Season 1, episode 5 so far. Hopefully, you guys are enjoying the commentary on the show. When you're here to show love, hit the like button and let us know down below what you think is coming next. Ashley, how are you doing, and are you ready to get into the beauty?
I am doing well. I am doing well. And yeah, I mean, it's never a joy for me to come in and be like, ooh, the beauty. However, I didn't mind this episode. This was probably my favorite episode of the season. I don't know if that's saying too much, but I was appreciative of a certain, scene I really, really enjoyed, and it made the episode for me. So for that reason, yeah, Tyra, I'm ready. Let's get into it.
Y'all hit that like button because I have some thoughts. I will not, and I repeat, not be giving this show brownie points. You don't get to be cute with Vincent for 5 minutes. How you gonna play with us and Vincent like that? Vincent can come through and save a rainy day. That's not hard to do. They ain't give Vincent no real lines, nothing to really do. He could just show up and act in the scene with Miss Death becomes her and serve for 3 minutes. And it's just everything because it's been nothing so far. Now, this is based on a comic book. And I was waiting. I don't like to go off and read and see or try to, spoil anything for myself, possibly. So I was like, let the show kind of cook on its own. But I did know prior to us discussing it that it was based on a comic book. And I was like, Ryan, you had a foundation. But after this episode, I had to go over there. Did I spoil too much? Maybe, maybe not. But just based off of the premise of the comic book, I was like, the material is here. The best thing that you could do with an established property like this, that's just a little short and sweet 6-volume comic, is elaborate on it. Maybe make it better in your own way. And I was flipping through the little pages that I could see. I said, why is this better than the show? Why couldn't we just take this and go with it? From the looks of it, Ryan is trying to elongate the property that's here because the guys who illustrated and wrote it felt like, this isn't a series that we want to continue on past a certain point. You're going to get these 6 volumes of this certain things, and we may do extensions in the universe, but this is going to be contained here. It's really not meant for longevity, not in the way that Ryan's trying to present it anyway. But I got it, and I was like, okay, I'm enjoying what's here kind of far better because when you're introduced to the property at all, the beauty in this elixir, this potion, is already kind of taken over 50% of the population. Everybody already has it, and it's about trying to, well, no, we're kind of years into that, and then it's like, oh hell, we just thought everybody was beautiful. Now we're 2 3 years in, and people are dying off, people are, bursting. You get the initial thing that we saw with Bella Hadid's character, and then we have this very like which would be our cops, which are the FBI here for whatever reason. In the comics, they're a small, struggling little, entity, little department, kind of separate from any agency. It's an independent agency. It's like we have small resources, which would make so much sense here in this element and how they try to present Cooper to us. We have these small resources. We're legitimately probably the only people who are trying to do something about it, and our ops are more so corporations in the CDC mainly. I was like, I'm here for that. I'm here for that. And getting into how something which I love, it was like it's bringing me back to what Ashley maybe said before a few episodes ago. If we would put a mirror up to something like the AIDS epidemic and HIV and what was happening with that, and this beauty situation and the CDC and the cure, and well, we actually have a cure, but we don't want to present it. It's too profitable to really just languish in what's going on here. Bottom line, there's promise here in this property and what's already here. So why do we come here and waste time and give us crap? There is nothing happening in this show. I was so annoyed. I was so annoyed by the time we got to this episode. And Vincent couldn't say it, even though I love me some Vincent down. Vincent is going to act. He's one of my favorite actors. But when it's established that pretty early on, because they've given so much of the plot away episodes ago, we knew exactly who he was before we actually got to the getting. And it was like, oh, you can't put Ashton next to Vincent. You just can't do that. That just made me really want to revel in. Ooh, it would be so good if Vincent was one of our principal characters. If he was our Vincent, gonna give you villain every time, and we're gonna make it believable. The moment in the episode where we switched and it was back to Ashton, I was like, oh, cool. That was nice while we had it, but we know we probably won't see him again. There's nothing going on here. And at this point in episode 5, halfway through the series, I feel like we're just spinning our wheels. Where are we going? Because I would like to get there and care when we do. Ashley, overall thoughts?
Yeah, I thought this was the best episode of the season so far, if I can be honest. And it literally is because of Vincent D'Onofrio and Isabella Rossellini's dialogue at that kitchen table. That painted the picture. Let me preface all of that by saying there is nothing about this show that ever made me want to look it up, that ever made me want to talk about it, that ever, like, we literally come over here because we know Ryan Murphy tends to be salacious. He tends to be on the fringes, and that most times elicits an audience, right? And we can build up over time. He normally has 8 to 10 episode seasons, which is longer than a lot of series seasons that we have now. And so that's really why we go over here, Tyra. I'm not expecting anything from these people. So when something does happen, I'm like, okay, yeah. Now, what I will say is that starting out, I did think, like, the messaging, like, is he trying to say something through this? Like, because I get it, right? Beauty, sex, who we let into our space, what beauty and, superficiality does, and all of those things. I honestly think there's an issue with the ordering of these episodes. And I know they shoot them in a certain way, but I really feel like if I had gotten Vincent D'Onofrio's scene, episode 1, episode 2, I think we had, instead of wasting that 3-episode premiere, I think we really could have cooked if we got over the gore, and it really could have told a compelling story. But like you said, it's like, where do we go? We've been dealing with Anthony Ramos and his sidekick. We've been dealing with the effects and kind of the body horror of the transformation and all of that. But we're 5 episodes in. We are literally at the halfway point of the season. And now you want to give us a backstory? We can kind of put 1 and 1 equals 2. We can put that together.
Did they really though? Like,
in our minds. But I mean, like I said, all I had been wanting was a flashback. Give me a flashback. Show me who he really was. Show me why he's such a villain. And in 2 minutes, Vincent D'Onofrio gives me the villain that I need. He gives me Fisk, honey. He's giving me all the things that I need. And I just wanted more of that. Honestly, that's what captured the episode for me. That's when the episode shifts and we kind of get into gear. We meet these billionaires. We see the massacre. We see all of that. But I also think the other thing, and you mentioned it in the Discord earlier, a really big issue with casting really capable actors with actors that you brought on for appearances or namesakes. It causes a continuity issue because you can't have Vincent D'Onofrio giving villain in 2 minutes in a conversation with his wife and then give us a lackluster Ashton, right? And so I think that's taking away from it as well. But, beautiful gowns, as with every other property Ryan gives us. He's going to have somebody in costume and wardrobe.
I'm passionate because I see the potential, not just because it's Ryan, but just the state of the culture and the beauty industry and what we see every day with our eyes as an average person, how indulgent it is and vanity. And at this point, unfortunately, on any side of the culture and celebrity, we're like, oh man, they're tweaking stuff. Oh man, like what's that? There's just I think that there's a too far much of an engagement as far as celebrity and looks now, and people aren't allowed to really age anymore. We knew, like, coming up, if you were in any facet of an industry, you didn't start like tweaking things until you were like, and then it was a secret.
Yeah.
It was little tweaks. Like by the time you got, later, like mid 40s, 50s, you start to like, oh, okay, you look good. But most of it, I diet and I work out. And who me? Under the knife, I may got a little Botox here, but I don't touch anything. Here, you won't blink and somebody is a brand new person. So you could see how something as treacherous as this virus being, okay, I'm gonna suffer and die in 2 years, but that's gonna be 2 years of a life that I never have. Yeah, go on, give it to me. People will be susceptible, especially when we're getting over to the attractive side and what we're willing to do sexually with someone. And all of that side. We didn't even get into that side. We haven't even really dove into that in the show the way that I thought that we would. We kind of get, peaks and valleys. It's like, did you wear protection? Well, no, I didn't. He was so good looking in the club. I just didn't feel like I needed to wear any protection, Evan Peters. There's just something here, and I'm a little pissed off that we're not getting it. Oh, hey, Chuck. Ain't seen you in a while. Thank you so much for the super chat. Ain't forgot about y'all. Life's just been real, RIP mama. I'm sorry. I'm very, very sorry to hear that. My little channel is doing well though. Again, appreciate the inspiration, staying positive. It's nice of you to stop by, Chuck, and I'm really sorry to hear about your mom. And Lil Nothing, your channel is doing well. Everybody starts with a little channel. These are still relatively little channels, baby. Thank you. Somebody be like, I came to your little house. Like, no, you came to my home. But
Praying for you, Chuck. Hope you're feeling better.
Yeah, absolutely. Getting into this episode, child, I just was kind of getting my life with the comic. I was like, oh, okay, I see the vision. And then we get over here and it's not executed in the right order. And I was thinking that, I was like, there's something off with the order and the pacing of the episodes to where there's so much pockets of promise to where it could just be disconnected and leave us disinterested as an audience. Because the way that I've checked out when I felt like I was at least peaked a little bit episode 1. But we're here and we get into the predictable qualities that we were expecting. We already told y'all that Cooper, I don't know why I want to call her Jackson so bad. Her name is Jordan. Cooper was going to go through the ups and downs of, tell me something that only Jordan would know. Who are you? You couldn't possibly be her. Look at you. And of course, after we get that all cleared out the way, we have a sit down, because not only do you look whatever, but why didn't you come to me? Where have you been this entire time? Now, as far as those first 3 episodes and her initial coming down with the virus and changing, I thought maybe in between that we were 1 to 2 weeks removed from seeing Miss Jordan. But the way that Jordan communicates, I went through the change and I was going to come to you or reach out in general, but I was just having too much damn fun, being beautiful. I was just enjoying myself. People were treating me nicely, differently. I was getting free things, like a life I never knew, up until I was being sexualized and they only saw a piece of meat and I had to defend myself solely based off my beauty. I really, really low-key missed when I wasn't. It was giving, you've been off for a month. I was like, okay, cool. I said, this would work so much better if our established Jordan wasn't already attractive. I was like, girl, were you the Hunchback of Notre Dame before? She's like, yeah, just kind of seeing things through Cooper's eyes. I can understand now why you were so accepting of yourself as an individual, as, your looks or wherever you feel like you might be lacking, your teeth, your whatever. And where I may have went and tweaked and got those breast augmentations before, I really appreciate now and would rather revel in my old looks. When I wasn't getting any attention and when I looked, normal and average and nobody's eyes were on me. Nobody would ever give me anything free. Nobody would ever sexualize me. Not that old Jordan. So unattractive. I was like, girl, all right, Ryan, y'all tried it because she looked good then and she looks good now. She's just younger. Like, okay. But after we establish us indulging in all of this and how good she feels and never felt better, yeah, you're going to feel good up until about 2 years. From what we see, you have a 2-year shelf life, and then you might end up like Miss Mama's in episode 4. Now, not episode 4, episode 1. Now it's my sole mission, me, Jason Bourne Cooper, to make sure that doesn't happen. Now, of course, we're going to maybe get into that later, but at this point, we're walking home, and I feel like between her and that little investigative period that we did get before she turned, rules and boundaries were established as far as like how this may or may not be transmitted. So for her to immediately go into a kiss, he's like, whoa, hold
Slow down,
on,
Quincy.
slow down. Before we really get into whatever, we need more facts. Let's just not go there. Let's just wait on that because I don't want the beauty, honey. You can have it to yourself. And then, of course, earlier we have that conversation of, what did you like? Why didn't you have protection? Stupid. Why didn't you? She's like, don't judge me. I, I had a moment of weakness. You know, this is what happened. I was footloose, fancy free, making good love in this club from that man that we met at the restaurant, and I didn't. And I was, infected here on purpose. Now, about Jordan having someone with tact come after her to infect her. And of course, we have that Jason Bourne situation in the alleys of Italy over here with Cooper. This is clearly Byron sending someone after them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if your objective, of course, later on is to have Anthony Ramos assassin out here doing all this brunt work and keep it contained, anybody who kissed them, had sex with them, had whatever, take them out. Why would we go that route of infecting to kind of shut her up or get them off the scent of the trail? And it just begs the question of what else he might be doing. I wish I cared more, but yeah, you got 2 years. Ashley?
Yeah, again, that's kind of my issue. It's like you're not setting up the rationale behind this because we already know that they're screwing like rabbits out here in the street. So what is your end game? Because you can't take out everybody. We know that some are just going to explode, but that's not going to do anything for your brand. So why are there certain specific targets when they're all screwing everything like rat? We know how this is going to go, but alas, it's very interesting because I know that a lot of people equate youth to beauty like it's synonymous, and it is not so much. I'm just curious as why they made her an exotic looking, multi-ethnic, racially ambiguous woman. I was like, is this a white woman? Like, is the new Jordan like exotic? And I honestly don't buy Jordan's line. I don't think she came back because she felt like an object and she couldn't be herself. She came back because she's scared as hell. Am I going to blow up like she did? That's her sole purpose for coming back. I don't think she gives a damn about Cooper like that. I think this is literally self-preservation. Like, if anybody can help me get a cure to this thing, it's going to be Cooper. Then I can go about the rest of my life still being beautiful. Like, I think that because there's always this thing around pretty privilege, and I do believe it exists. But also you'll hear these people, oh, I'm just so beautiful. God, life is hard because I'm just so beautiful. I had to turn down 20 drinks last night, Tyra. It's just they offered to pay my rent again. Like, he wanted to buy me a house in the damn diamond of the century. Like, I don't buy her. I don't buy this dynamic. And it's really hard for me because, like I said before, they didn't quite set this up as this love relationship. It was very much friends with benefits, with boundaries on 9 to 5. We are professional. On the occasional Tuesday and Thursday, we hunch. That's all this gave for me. My other only issue with this is, girl, how long have you been out there? When she started rattling off all these traumatic experiences, I was like, how have you been gone for a year then, right? Because in my mind, it's only been a week or two at month.
I'm gonna say a month.
Maybe. But it seems like it was all moving so fast. The fact she came back with all these, oh, it's so hard to be beautiful for 2 weeks. Oh, God. I was like, girl, how many experiences did you have, Jordan? Girl, it's so hard being beautiful. I don't buy this line. I hope that they set it up to where she actually is trying to set Cooper up. Or, like I said, this is about self-preservation, and she just thinks he's her best hope in surviving this.
There's no real continuity here because I was like, okay, we're in week 2. Like, it's been a week. When did you have all these experiences? And I think that's a disconnect from the comic. Via the comic, they are so close. Even though there's that intimacy there and there is some sex. I love when she came to the door. She was like, "It's me, Jordan, your best, your F buddy." I was like, yeah, okay. Yeah, they're very, very close. And since we meet them in the comic books as partners, and Cooper, he already had he already, I think he already, either he has it or she has it already, and they're trying to figure out just how to cure it, and we're just kind of going down that rabbit hole. But we
Oh, so
already
not
meet
that she
them.
stepped out and just was because he was
Mhm.
fine in the club. I had to get a piece of it. You understand, Cooper? Okay.
Mm, child. We'll see. But the whole like, oh, I just miss when I was fugly. Like when I was, when
Yeah,
I just miss. I really miss when I wasn't attractive. Like what?
he's a
When would
liar.
you? But before we leave them, how will Cooper get the virus? Because I think it's inevitable. I think that's the direction that we're going in. And especially if we, I don't know, we haven't stuck to the comics at this point, but there's only one way for this story to go. There's no way you can have your one hitman. We haven't seen any allegiances out there and some agencies running around trying to contain it. And we're doing what the CDC and the government is. And if we know you got the virus and you're spreading around, we're getting you. We've seen old Ashton call Anthony for everything. Just like, oh, well, I'm barely getting this one out the way. Who else? Oh, they kissed someone in the club, or they had sex. Oh, okay, let me go get that one. This is not how we control anything. Like he told Jeremy, you can't kiss nobody. You can't. You gotta wear protection all the time. Don't breathe too hard. Get your little rocks off and go on your way, because we don't want this to be transmitted. It's very easy that way. Um, he's gonna get it. The question is, where is he gonna get it from? Ashley, do you think Cooper's
Her.
gonna get?
She gonna set him up because how much more invested will he be if he has to find out, a cure or a situation for himself? She's gonna seduce him. Like you said, she already trying to kiss. This is any bodily fluids being exchanged. I honestly think they're gonna slip up and have a night of passion or a moment of intimacy. Or if it's, as transmissible as we think it is, maybe she shot. He's always got an open wound from getting beat up. So maybe something gets in there, but I wouldn't be surprised if he lays down with her. I would not be surprised.
I would want to like have some type of interest in with Cooper being so stern in his views as far as how he looks, and this being something that he would ever want. What would change his mind? I mean, it would be a little cute thing, I guess, if it was like, aha, thought you had me. See, yeah, it was me the whole time. I'm gonna give you this virus. You thought I was still your friend. No, I'm changed forever, and I'm all about this beauty and my self indulgence. I don't care if you want to be with me. You got to be beautiful too. I will sit here via Ashton. That'll be cute or whatever. But if this was on his own admission and he chooses to, because I need to get the virus for X, Y, and Z, and now we both have 2 years, and now I really need to, like, I just needed to have some purpose, because right now, ha! Okay, let's move on. Yeah, you would think that it's gonna be her because she went in for that kiss really, really quick. Best acting in the show. Best acting in the show, like, oh, Vincent, how much? I just know Ryan pockets are deep. He gets the stars, okay? And I know this was a little quick cameo situation, and we're probably not going to see Vincent again. But damn, it was nice. It was like, oh yes, thou art a villain. He's gonna sell it. And I ain't even seen him over there in Daredevil or nothing. Like, just every project that you've known, like the main staple roles, he's so good at being a villain. And when he gets here, he getting some head top, top in the limo. And at that moment when he hangs up the phone and the lady rises up, I was like, oh, this is, flip it and reverse it from how the exact way that we met Ashton in the pool on the yacht. I said, this is Ashton. So I already knew that. But, and I set up because I was like, oh, I wonder like what year are we in? But before he could even get off the phone, he's making references to something as recent as like Bitcoin and currencies. And I was like, this is current day? This disappointed me so much. The only thing that I was holding on to like in a major way outside of I wonder how this is going to end and hold interest for another season was going back and getting into who they were before. I thought in the initial episodes and these themes of a fountain of youth, and I'm 60 something odd years old. I've been around here for a long time. I was assuming that they took the virus way back when the aging process stopped, and Ashton was Ashton and Anthony was Anthony, and that was just that. And we had our wife here who decided, yeah, I don't want to do that. And we were gonna maybe go through the years of, yeah, I'm aging and you're not. I thought that was gonna be so interesting just to witness that in a marriage that's already struggling. It was like, no, we're 3 years removed. We're 3 years removed from current day of Ashton. So he's only had this for a very short amount of time. Not too far away from our Bella Hadid, who spontaneously, combusted at the 2 year mark. I was like, oh, that's fine. Okay. But this dinner table scene and us getting into the villainy very, very quickly, because I could give a damn about our kids and who has a drug problem, whatever is suffering. I'm not attracted to you anymore. Can you step your cookies up so I can maybe get there? Matter of fact, all the little surgeries and prims and presses, that's not enough. I've been exposed and known to something that's coming up and emerging. It's X amount of dollars. All the billionaires are going to be there. You need to come with me so you can get some of that too. She's like, yeah, no. All of the themes of just beauty and wealth and all these things being fleeting and temporary, this loveless, this love hate relationship that we have, I wouldn't even want to sleep with you if I was, a spring chicken. There's nothing here anymore. And as hard as I could try to salvage, this is all insufferable. I'm unhappy. This indulgence, this wealth, this designer, none of this makes me happy. And you get the feeling, which would have been nice to go back and get into their old life if we went the route I thought we were. This is a woman who tried to keep up with the Joneses to keep her husband. Like, I tried. I did everything I could do. I've nipped and tucked in every single way. I took those potions. I tried to be alluring and attractive and keep up with the beauty standards to keep my husband. And you're not interested. You're very vague. You're all about yourself, selfish, and into this vanity. I don't want to do that anymore in my old age. I'm happy where I am and I'm accepting that. If you want to go take that magic elixir, be my guest, but I'm not coming with you. Matter of fact, I'm about to burn this house down. This was nice while we had it. I just don't think we're going to have any more of it. Ashley?
I don't know. It just, acting is such a craft. And Vincent has mastered it, even from the way he's sitting in the chair. It's like, okay, he's like, I'm going to study Ashton and how he executes this character. And then I'm going to pull all of these things in. So you're going to know, but you're not going to know, but you're going to know. You know what I mean? And I just loved it. I thought this was beautiful, a beautiful interaction between these two. And not because it was beautiful in nature, but just seeing these actors play off of one another. When he told this lady she looked like a sack of canned hams, I said, sir. It tickled me. And she was like, I don't want your hands anywhere near me ever. When I understood that beauty was fleeting and it was all vanity, my life got better. That means I can walk through this house with a smile on. I can set anything on fire in this mother effer I want. And you have to leave me alone. You know what I mean? You're a terrible father. You were a terrible husband. What is this next thing going to do? Make a woman want to unalive herself? Little girls go anorexic. Like, all of these things really kind of speaking to the character of this man and how wicked he is, which we haven't gotten any up to this point, really. In the conversation. The conversation on the yacht with Ashton was very much flaccid. And so over here, I think I was just excited to see these actors bouncing off of one another and actually getting villainy from the forced character. Because honestly, before that, Ashton, boy, just jump in a lake. You're just rich.
This is the show. If Ryan really wanted to make lemons out of lemonade, the way I would have called these two, and we would have worked our way up to creating the virus, or whatever you want to call it, the beauty test trials, and their marriage and what it looks like up until the point that he takes it and she doesn't. I would enjoy that.
But they were never going to give us that, Tyra. And what's interesting is that if you guys have ever seen War of the Roses, This almost looks identical to the scene that you'll see with Michael Douglas and Kathleen Turner. It's at a point where they ultimately hate each other. I think the only thing they didn't do in this scene that they did back then was start throwing stuff at each other. But the fire was Chef's kiss. I could see the inspiration for it. But the issue is you can't just sprinkle these things into shows. All the thoughtfulness, all of the things, even with her character being in Death Becomes Me and having the elixir of life, and now here saying, yeah, I did all that, and honestly, it's not worth it. I thought that was so smart. It was so brilliant. And to give us a little couple minute pocket of that in the series is really disheartening because it tells me, and we know Ryan is capable of so much more. It just always bothers me that he doesn't call himself up higher. This had potential to be something.
But it could have. Girl, if she would have took off them diamonds and said, take care of your body, I would have fell out. I would have fell out. This was nice. If we could get a little, there's no reason for us to get Vincent again. There's no reason, but maybe we'll get some more from the wife because she's still here as herself in this universe, and we met her initially already. But if these episodes were in a different order, it would have been really, really interesting. The subtlety here that we got in this scene definitely outweighed our fires. As great as it was at the time, the fire starter opening and the is it a what the hell is it? Is it a Terminator? Now it's like, ooh, if you would have got this first episode, I'd be like, ooh, where are we going?
Yeah.
What's going on? I don't know. Less is more sometimes. Once again, less is more sometimes. But this is a little too less. I was really intrigued by them initially. Right now, we're just spinning our wheels. Now, a warning. We're spinning the wheels. I don't know. Between this and our cocoon transformations, I'm over it. It's like, and play it again, and press play. We've seen Anthony in the exact same capacity for 5 episodes now, give or take. And it's been less and less each time. At least the last episode, we got a montage out of it, and them slow walk into the plane. It was, beautiful gowns once again. But we're dressed to the nines in our leather, giving the ultimate male dominatrix, if you will. Say, you want a whip and chain so bad, don't you, Anthony? And this is yet another person that we've had to track down. We get this call from, I'm assuming, Ashton, like, hey, we got another one. Go on deck that before he spreads it around. But, he came out of the bathroom with this man. We need to stab and take him out. Oh, he kissed this person. We need to keep an eye. Let's go and interrogate and see where he got it from, because we got to retrace all these steps to try to get back to patient 0 at this point. Please, it's over. It's done. That makes this feel so redundant. We just know that it's out, it's in the ether, and there's no putting this back in the box. And I'm like, is Ashton a mastermind? Is he trying to give you like false hope and brunt work until he gets to? And I can't even get with that because it's not like y'all place any real level of importance on Anthony's character. He's just giving the trash man. I just do as yes, a boss. I'm on it. Like, and there's that. They look good. We get more Christopher Cross and some kills, and the most that we get out of them later is the victim here. We have them stage the scene at Cooper's apartment to just let them know, like, we see, we know, and we're watching. Walk away or else type energy, and we get that hieroglyphic beauty symbol painted in blood on the wall. Say, Ryan, please. But that's all, the duty that they get to do, and we don't even get to see them do that physically. Now that I know that the initial origin wasn't a fountain of youth type situation and we didn't stop an aging process, when did you take it and why, Anthony? What stock do you have here? Because it's not like you're independent. Are you Ashton's right-hand man and you were of a certain age too? And it's like, well, yeah, the boys are back in town. You take it too, and we can be business as usual. What interest do you have to do his bidding? And at that point, even the relationship he said he had with his son, there's just so many questions coming up that I thought would be more interesting in the past than they were right now. But it's like, yeah, I have a son, reminds me of you, and I blank, blank, blank. How old were you when you took it? What happened to your eye? I just need something, because now that we're only 3 years removed from the origins of the virus, I have so many questions. Ashley?
Yeah, I'm never gonna go back and rewatch anything, but I thought he said it was a long time ago
That's
because Jeremy asked him the question. So how long has it? How old are you? I'm in my 60s. Well, how
yeah.
long ago? Yeah, it was a long time ago. So again, I'm thinking, okay, this has been in the works for a very long time. I don't get it. Again, this was my favorite pairing. I was really interested, and I'm just so sad. I'm just so sad. Like we didn't even get a song this time. Like we got a song
Mm,
playing, but we didn't get to
yeah.
hear y'all sing this time.
We'll
Like, I'm
see.
like, what are we doing? The boys are back in town. It gave very much New Jack City with the shoulder pads. Like it was
Jack City.
80s. It was not early 90s. I was like, okay, okay, fashions. All right. Yeah, we're LGBT friendly. I was like, really? Did we
Mm,
did
yeah.
we did we
Yeah.
need the little again, it's just so empty. It's just so
No
empty.
substance.
It's just
No
so
character.
empty. And
No.
again, this was my favorite because I said, okay, what is this bond going to look like? But you're right. We have no context to really understand who Anthony Ramos's character is and why he holds such a place of importance to Forrest. Like, were they best friends? Did they come up together? Because we know that they're around the same age, but what
Mm,
made him give this to you when later on we see him take everybody else out who got it? So you got a
mhm.
stable version of it. You're hired to be his henchman, but to what end? You really don't have any fear of him, it seems, because Jeremy was supposed to be somebody you took out, and you took the onus to say, no, you're going to be my apprentice. It really just has me questioning a lot of things. And I think these are some things that should have been addressed much earlier on, because why are you indebted to him? Is this something that you owe? Was there a friendship? Like, why are you just doing his bidding with no questions asked? Like, these are the questions that need answers, and they're running away from it. It's like, we don't give a
Mm.
damn. Just go get them. Go
Go
get Cooper
go
and Jordan.
go go
Okay.
go get cute
Yeah.
and go do these little hits. Ah, I don't know. Even the payoff with Jeremy here, they act like Jeremy was going to be so important.
He's just a sidekick standing in the corners.
Well,
Yeah.
why do we spend all that time with him? That could have been a brief little. Okay, he's an incel. He's a little mad. He tried to get some plastic surgery. No, we dedicated a whole episode to Jeremy. Okay. I really wanted this show to be decent. Really. Had promise. But we get here and we see all the things that we know already. How much is it? What do I sign up? I don't have any questions. All the helicopter pad, Beamer Benz, Bentley, the billionaires show up and we get their net worth along with their names. We're cute. And it's the upper echelon of the upper echelon. We have Dr. Ray here. It was really giving like, yeah, let me give y'all a little taste. Who's gonna offer me the most money for what I have? Because I know y'all gonna want to eat it up. He's expecting to profit off of this, and who better to be in the room with than all of these billionaires who are once again a bit, self-absorbed. We're aging, and it seems like everybody at this point is doing everything under the sun to hold on to what they, used to look like. They're, aging and stuff, whatever. We get a little bit of the process, kind of, sort of Dr. Ray creating the virus. He said there were hands in it from multiple people. I took it and I mastered it, packaged it, and this is what it is. Of course, there's some naysayers in the room and all of that good stuff. And it's just like, okay, yeah, believe it when you see it. But just getting in here in the room, um, could have been more. And I forgot this actor's name, but he's great too. Um, the one with the full head of hair, that hairline that was intact, our gray hair. I wanted more out of this scene because I think if you're paying attention, you kind of felt where it was going, especially because we've already met Ashton and we know how he kind of rolls. And the first thing out of his mouth, when our older Ashton gets there, it's like, oh, so we're the only ones who know about it. We're the only ones that are going to be here. You're the only one who has access. It's like the wheels were already turning in his head, way before he ever got there and he was propositioned with it. But where we could have went in the room, I was like, oh, if you could have had Meryl and Goldie in this room, it would have been real cute. These are the moments to put stock in your cameos. The way he wants to call like a yes, Peter Gallagher. Once you call like your Megan Trainors and your this is where you put the folks. If this was a circle of like references to films where aging or or whatever is a factor, if you really wanted to be meta and all tongue in cheek the way Ryan pretends he does, I would have lived. But it was cool. We, supposedly we're supposed to get some payoff after this, but I think in this moment we kind of knew where it was going. Actually, how did you feel about getting into the origins of the virus as if we didn't already kind of know and establish that the first one or two episodes, and meeting these room full of people who are really into their vanity, their greed, and realizing at this moment, because this was the moment I was like, oh, it's just been 3 years.
Yeah, I had been wanting this. Like I said, episode 5 doing it. Okay, at the halfway point. All right. So here's the thing. I loved seeing all of the people. I loved seeing all, like you said, Peter Gallagher was there. I loved seeing the actors in the room. However, I think it was really less impactful because we didn't really fully get the dynamic of it. And again, I like exposition. You know how I am with these things. And I just know he's never going to give that to us. It was like, let's get all these rich people in a room. We know they're all vain. We know that about them. So it was really just par for the course. And I feel like it takes away from the impactfulness of the scene overall. You literally had them come in. It was like a minute or 2 minutes by the time they get out of their cars. We see their names, their net worth, and we understand that Forrest still dominates. He's the richest man in the world. These other people got billions, but he's that one. So predator eat prey. Like it just, I don't know. It just really didn't. It didn't do much for me, honestly, Tyra. I think, like I said, if we had gotten the flashbacks earlier on in the season, I think it would have made more sense. But we had already parsed out what this was about. Now, did I expect the blow up? No, because all we've been hearing about for the past couple episodes is this upcoming beauty day and how these other millionaires are going to be present and all these new people. So in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, he probably has a network. There's probably a group of them, like a undercover Illuminati vibe. Like, so the fact that he takes all of these people out as soon as they get it, that was the only thing that kind of shocked me. But coming in and billionaires being billionaires and wanting to be young forever, no, that doesn't.
No, Agent P3. The show is not any good, unfortunately. It had direct. It had hops, the promise is here. I don't want to speak too soon. We still have episodes left, but at this point in episode 5, it's not the best thing I've ever seen. We get to where I felt like we were going. This was supposed to be really impactful. This was supposed to be the setup of, oh, Ashton is that one, because this is who we have to rock with. I really would have loved to get like as minimal visuals of current day Ashton as possible and just revel in, not like that, but just revel in Vincent this entire time. Like if we were kind of meeting in and out Ashton and we didn't really know exactly who he was and there was some mystery around. So that way when we got to this moment, it's like, oh my goodness. So this was, because we wouldn't have known any difference now that we're made aware that this is only 2 or 3 years removed. We could have played with the timeline. It's not like we were going to have like, oh yeah, back in my day, back in 60, whatever. No. We didn't have to go back to 60s, 70s, 80s. You just really like low-key got this origins. You just got this virus. So if we could have like had Vincent really being Vincent, and it's like, oh my God, it's just so awful. Oh, the husband, for those episodes, and then get here, and it's like, oh, what is Ashton? Ashton is on the docket. He's a part of the cast, but he's kind of just been coming and going. There's a mystery around him. We don't know exactly who he is, and then it's like, oh, they're the same person. There was no reveal here. And his motives have been very clear from the beginning when we met him and the doctor's trying to give him warnings. Well, just double up the dosage. I don't care. his motives are very clear. So when we got here and he shot everybody down, it was like, oh, oh, okay. The like you said, the most I said, I was like, well, hell, who are the founders at the beauty day? Like, are these just like the Anthony Ramos of the world who you decided to, yeah, they get to get it in this one too, but nobody, which it probably is, because when they're giving him a tune up, he's like, yeah, they're all gonna be there. Uh if they have an issue, just threaten them that I won't, give them X, Y, and Z. So clearly he has some control where he probably wasn't gonna try to have 7 episodes left. he he probably was he probably wasn't gonna have to have control over these people who have their own separate billions. Like I said, the cocoon transformations of it all, it's kind of it's worn on me now. I got it. I see it. Seen it once, seen it twice, seen it 3, 4, 5 times now. It's kind of wearing. I would like for them to do something different at this point. But the kidnapping of Dr. Ray shot everybody down, kidnapped Dr. Ray, and I mean everybody, billionaires, staff, anybody who could be a witness to anything. Yeah, that right there, that's mine's now. Whatever you thought you did, like I have full control with how grand this invention is. There's nobody to answer to. Nobody gonna come looking. Dr. Ray is the sole person who can give, take, and apply this thing. And no institution cares enough to follow up. Like, you had to create this somewhere. Someone has to have a tie to it. We can't just off everybody, including the SWAT that you had there, and then take him and it's like, yeah, you're my own personal chef to cook up when I need you to tune me up, and whenever we get ready to let this out on the masses, you'll be there and be a front runner, but I have control over you and the administration of this virus. Okay, if you say so. Ashley, how did you feel about this? Ashley, you muted.
I get, we want ultimate power, right? We want ultimate domination. But it was really interesting because, again, we'd seen Forrest being a pretty boy, kind of, all self-contained, just partying, really just superficial about his looks, and with his little assassin on the side. But to find out that he was willing to get his own hands dirty was a little bit interesting to me, because I'm like, wouldn't he just have somebody take them out? But I guess this was the perfect time. They were most vulnerable there. But again, you had all the money, meaning you were going to make the rules anyway. I do think it was a situation where I just want complete domination. I don't want any contest. I don't want anybody vying for this secret. And I think it also was worked twofold, because now Ray's scared of me. Ray is absolutely scared of me. Now, do I believe Ray fully? I do think he's the only one that has the full pieces, but like he said, I have people working in labs on different pieces of it, none of them really knowing what the final thing is. But Ray's not going to live forever either. At some point, this is going to fail. At some point, they're either going to become tolerant to this drug or something. This don't last forever, baby. And so I'm just very interested to see what happens at this point, because we did see an interaction between Forrest and Ray, Dr. Ray, an episode ago, where he was like, it's not ready yet. Yeah, make it ready. You better make it ready. So Forrest is just the villain that we always thought he was, but it was interesting to see he was willing to get blood on his own hands for this. But that was about it for me. And I will note, that was kind of a mind trip to let all these people see themselves in this beautiful version, like while they're still luxuriating in the new bodies, the new titties, all of that, and then instantly take them out. That was brutal. You a cold piece, brother. Cold piece. But again, Ashton looked goofy the whole time. It was like, how we go from Vincent over here, very convincing villain, and now you just look like a limp piece of spaghetti noodle with the sauce on it. That's all he looked like, Tyra.
We all love Vincent, Desi. This was a cute cameo moment. This is not the Vincent show. Don't get confused. I ain't even put Vincent on the thumbnail. So this ain't that. This ain't that. Vincent
this
ain't
was one night
back.
only.
One night only. Effie White. I want to get to the aging, the skin falling off, the drooping.
Yeah.
Because now that we know that this is 3 years, is it better or worse than the substance? Was the substance better? I like the substance. This has nothing on the substance. Um,
they're not even the same conversation. Like,
no, not at all. I want to get to the downfall. I don't think there's no coincidence that the
yeah.
tolerance is fleeting, and we have to up dosages. You're not really responding. The skin isn't tightening like it used to, and where we have the ones who got it sexually having two years, and you just happen to be on maybe your third one, and now it's kind of being iffy. So this isn't as stable as you maybe thought it was in the beginning, and you didn't ask any questions. Y'all didn't do any homework. You was just, I'm a boy. I'm a boy again. I'm a young boy. And then that was just that. We shall see, because I know it's going to get there and we're going to have the ultimate meltdown. But it was a mind trick for me to leave Vincent and get back over here to Ashton trying to give us his best villain. Ashley, any predictions for the next episode?
I do not care, girl. I do not care. I do think that Cooper contracts the beauty. I'm just interested to see who he's going to turn to. What if he stays the same? What if they say Evan is just fine all by himself? I doubt it. But no, I think we'll finally come face to face with Anthony Ramos, Jeremy, and I think they'll come face to face with Jordan and Cooper next episode, or at least just be missing each other. But I think I'm kind of looking forward to see what that confrontation is going to look like, and the steps that Jordan and Cooper are going to take to try to get a cure, because really that's your only option at this point. And I don't even know. He knows about the containment unit. He knows how people are being treated and exterminated there. So where do you go from here? As far as Forrest, I hope next episode is finally Beauty Day. Finally.
Actually, who was Forrest?
Forrest.
Oh.
Forrest. Isn't that his last name?
Is it? I don't know.
Ashton's
We learned last names here. I was about to call him Bison.
Girl,
I
that's
just
all I call
realizing his
him.
name Byron.
Forrest. The beauty. Yeah, Forrest. Girl, you got me questioning myself. Like, who is that?
Because
Byron Forrest.
Character on me. It's like, who the hell is that? Oh, Ashton.
Byron Forrest. Yeah. I want to see Beauty Day ultimately. So hopefully we'll get to that. But yeah, girl, that's all I got for him. I don't have nothing else.
All right. But y'all, that was the episode.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
What?
If I had to give a prediction, baby, you got to give a prediction. We're not going to do that.
Don't. I hosted. That was more than enough. With that being said, this is the end of the road for this show, where we have industry that got dropped like a hot potato because of the direction that the show was going. And then we later have people come back who, whether you're in the chat or you're watching it on the replay, all of a sudden we want to comment and engage when the show is dropped and you don't see it and you want to ask about where it is. And I look forward to these discussions and these reviews. But during the initial discussion and review and after the fact, you're nowhere to be found. So I'm going to say this here, and I'm going to say it once. If you want us to continue talking about this show through and through, show up and support. When this video ends, leave your comment down below. Not only just letting us know your predictions, but let us know if you want us to continue to discuss it. If you want us to continue to discuss it, like and hype the video. This does not really get a heighten of engagement that we want to. And this is early in the year, so reviews are always iffy around this time. But there's always an option to replace something with something else. So before we go down the rabbit hole of replacing this with something else, and you want to see us go over for, oh, okay, this is how it ended. Oh, it really picked up. Or, wow, we really did nothing with this premise. It's unfortunate. I don't know. We'll know when we get there. But we won't be able to get there if we're not getting support on your end. Do not walk your happy asses off and not comment now, but want to comment later when we're discussing something else to ask where your favorite show was. Why y'all not talking about it? I'm here under Tell Me Lies looking for the beauty. Y'all not doing that no more? I've never seen you in my life. I've never seen you. Why comment now? I need people to really understand how much we appreciate when you guys support and we see it. And it impacts the video as far as engagement. We can hate something all day long and not be interested. If it's getting proper engagement, we're going to leave it on the docket. That always outweighs very much. If it's getting proper engagement, if you guys are into it individually and you super chat and support, those are the main reasons for us to keep it. But if it's not an interesting show, it's not getting engagement, and then we leave and we get one comment of, oh yeah, and I'm not talking about the one comment for my OGs, our members, strictly for the members, the real members, not my TP, not my pretty girl Danny, not my Desi. I'm not talking about those people. I'm talking about people that we don't see, that don't comment, that don't chat, that don't anything. But when it's gone, we see y'all out of nowhere. We get DMs, we get messages, and I was like, oh my God, Ashley, where's the show? I was here with my popcorn every day looking for this, and now you guys aren't doing it anymore. Yeah, if you comment and let us know you like it, then we know to keep it. But if you don't say anything, then we can't say nothing either. But that was my spew. Be sure to like the video. Hopefully you enjoyed this episode and we can get into more beauty. If not, next Thursday, we will probably see you with something else. Y'all have a good night.
Good night. See something, say something.